Okay, this is fascinating. There is a full-on Twitter fight breaking out right now over Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy going all in and making H1B visas their hill to die on. And I don't know who started it, but it's getting ugly. So Vivek Ramaswamy is getting hosed. He's getting like cooked for this tweet. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans. He puts that in scare quotes because like Native Americans are actually indigenous people. That's not what he meant. He meant like people born in the United States. Isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth in all caps. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s, and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. So what he's saying is that Americans, namely the kinds of Americans who vote his way, I guess, or at least including them, ain't qualified for the kinds of jobs that they're hiring for in Silicon Valley. Top tech companies, he's saying, have to look elsewhere in other countries like India, Pakistan, other places. His family originally came here from India, and they have to look to them because they've got the right culture that makes them qualified for the jobs. Oh, that didn't go over well with the MAGA folks. And then it got even spicier. Elon Musk himself jumped in when people started saying, no, Vivek, that ain't cool. So somebody posts, there are over 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans that opportunity by bringing foreigners here? Uh-oh. Elon Musk's response, your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, in all caps, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. This is not about handing out opportunities from some magical hat. You don't get it. This is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams. Oh, now he's going to do the race science. As the physical differences are so obvious to see, however, the mental differences between humans are far bigger than the physical differences. So he goes straight race science and says, just like NBA teams got all those black people on it because they just are physically better at basketball, I guess. He's going race science. He's like, the mental differences between Americans and H1B visa foreign workers are just quantum difference. Now, we shall note, Elon Musk is a foreign-born immigrant, too. Vivek Ramaswamy's parents came here from India, and his dad is not a citizen. He's still a citizen of India. So Vivek is a first-generation American. Elon Musk is an immigrant who's a naturalized citizen who, when he first got here, according to his brother, they were both undocumented. But they're saying that they had the innate qualities, not just to work in Silicon Valley, but to hire. They're both like tech guys, right? So they've got the qualifications, but y'all regular Americans don't. Oh, the right was not amused. Right-wing commentator David Marcus, no matter how you slice it, both Musk and Ramaswamy are saying native-born Americans just aren't good enough. That's a lie and deeply inappropriate for any government official to say. First of all, they're not government officials. Neither Vivek Ramaswamy nor Elon Musk are government officials. They're just two guys that Trump said are gonna like do some kind of efficiency thing. That's not even a real committee. It's not created by Congress. They're just regular people who Donald Trump says are gonna get to cut the government. But anywho, let's keep going. Russ Douthat, who writes conservative columns, I don't think this is an accurate description of the American situation, the evolution of our educational system and cultural priorities and our traditional strengths. He not happy about it. Conservative somebody named Rachel Brevard. According to the Census Bureau data, the U.S. has more than 2 times as many American workers with STEM degrees as there are STEM jobs. And many of the STEM jobs that do exist go to foreigners because our immigration system allows them to be legally paid less. Not happy. And one more. and John Cardillo. This is one of the most offensive things I've read. America and Americans are not mediocre. India is a filthy third world hellscape. If it's so exceptional, why doesn't its tech talent want to stay there? So he decided to throw in a little racism too, for spice. Ooh, another conservative commentator named Orrin McIntyre. Turns out the waste that Doge wanted to cut from America was Americans. Full-on catfight on the right. And ooh, get your popcorn. Because eventually Laura Loomer, the extreme right-wing the extreme right-wing, personality that used to be like traveling around on Donald Trump's plane, she jumped in it too. You remember that lady? Like she's like that crap. Right-wing crazy, but she jumped in too. Nobody can afford to live off $70,000 a year in today's America. Stop crying about declining birth rates when you want us to live like a bunch of welfare queens. Can't have a family and keep having more kids while making $70,000 a year and also working 80 hours a week. You can make more money working 4 hours a week and overtime at McDonald's each year. What she's commenting on, she went and looked up the starting salaries at Tesla, posted them, and then made a comment that Elon Musk is underpaying his own workers. Right-wing on right-wing crime is way before its time. And of course, folks on the other side of the ideological spectrum, particularly black folks, are enjoying this a lot because all of a sudden it turns out it's not just black jobs that are going away, it's jobs that white Americans who consider themselves high and elite thought were theirs. And it turns out, not according to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, those jobs will be going to H1B visas. You know who else uses a lot of H1B visas? Donald Trump. He uses H1B visas, which is a special kind of visa for foreign workers. He mostly employs foreign workers at Mar-a-Lago and his other spots. He loves hiring for those foreign workers. Yeah. Silicon Valley also, lots of foreign workers. Which was like a fun revelation to a lot of people on the left side of the aisle. MAGA's realizing Vivek and Elon hire foreign workers over Americans is the best Christmas present ever. Make the Yuletide gay. And then this guy jumps in, Dr. Parikh Patel, with lots of letters after his name, and he's got lots of degrees, pointing out all these CEOs who are Indian. CEO of Google, Microsoft, Adobe, IBM, Chanel, FedEx, Palo Alto Networks, and the company called Perplexity. To which lots of people start jumping in his mentions and throwing lots of racism. It's getting ugly. But the actual factuals of it are that Donald Trump's base are primarily non-college voters. His base is not really college-educated voters. Kamala Harris overwhelmingly won the college-educated voters. So Donald Trump's own base are not people who typically would get jobs in Silicon Valley or in the kind of tech firms that he and Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, they're not getting jobs at Starlink. It's just, that's not the kind of people that these guys hire. They hire a lot of foreign workers. Y'all didn't know that? And this is coming as the share of college-educated Americans, particularly college-educated men, is declining, particularly when it comes to four-year colleges. And that decline is particularly acute among white men. Look at the gender gap between white, black, and I'll also show you Asian American men and women. For all 18 to 24-year-olds, the gap by 2022 is 9 points, meaning 48% of college enrollees are women, only 38% are men. But among white men, the gap is 10 points. It's the largest gap, much larger than the gap among black men and women, which isn't really that large. And here it is. Among Asian students, the gap is less. Among black men and women, it's a little bit less, but it's really wide among white Americans. So just at the time when white men are more often choosing no college, they can't get jobs at places Elon Musk and Ramaswamy are hiring. Weird. And they're being told by their own side that it's because they're not good enough. Stuff out here with those mega consequences. keep your popcorn handy.